last night. The WNBA, PA, the Players Union, they're crashing out. They're crashing out, and they look less and less professional by the moment. Fans are recognizing this. There are things that I just they cannot keep this from getting personal.
That statement right there captures everything wrong with how the WNBA Players Association is handling these negotiations. The collective bargaining agreement expired at 11:59 p.m. Eastern on January 31st, and instead of looking like professionals fighting for better contracts, the union released a statement so loaded with social justice language and personal attacks that fans are actively siding with the owners. Think about that for a second. Basketball fans are choosing billionaire team owners over the players they watch every night. That's not supposed to happen in labor disputes.
Released, this was their statement, quote, you may be like, Rhodes, you got glasses on. Yeah, because they released this statement with this tiny ass writing on it. I don't think, no, that doesn't do anything for increasing image size like that. So, at midnight, the 2020 WNBA, WNBPA collective bargaining agreement will expire. Despite demonstrating our willingness to compromise in order to get a deal done, the WNBA and its teams have failed to meet us at the table with the same spirit and seriousness.
Here's what the Players Association actually put out. They deployed an inflatable rat outside the NBA store in New York, called it a universal symbol of labor protest, and accused the league of undervaluing player contributions, dismissing player concerns, and running out the clock. Then they pivoted to language about regressive provisions that no longer belong in women's basketball and preserving the status quo. Notice what's happening here. This isn't negotiation language, this is activism language. And there's a massive difference between those two approaches when you're trying to get a deal done at the bargaining table. Compare that to what the league put out. Professional, concise, zero emotional manipulation.
It's not going to have all that extra fluff, all that unneeded fluff in it. Quote, the current collective bargaining agreement has expired. Negotiations with the Women's National Basketball Players Association remain ongoing. As the league experiences a pivotal time of unprecedented popularity and growth, we recognize the importance of building upon that momentum. Our priority is a deal that significantly increases players' salaries, enhances the overall player experience, and supports long-term growth for the league for current and future generations of players and fans alike.
The league's statement was 38 words. Acknowledged the CBA expired. Confirmed negotiations are ongoing. Recognized the league's growth. Stated their priority is significantly increased salaries and enhanced player experience. Done. No inflatable rats. No accusations. No social reform messaging. Just business. And here's what's wild about the public reaction. Scroll through any comment section covering these negotiations and you'll see the same pattern. Fans who started out sympathetic to the players have completely flipped. One comment nails it. Insane statement from the PA. Insufferable Players Union. Their statements are as nasty and uncouth as their attitude. Another one, the most ironic part of all this, is the union will be the #1 reason why the league finally dies.
Bravo. That was short, sweet, to the point. None of the extra flood. No social reform. None of that kind of bullshit. Wow. Wow. And I'm going to tell you, I would do these videos, these CBA videos, and a lot of people originally was like, oh yeah, the players ought to get paid, blah, blah, blah. Now you get in the comment section, it's like, no. I mean, people are like team owner at this point. I mean, they have made them, if it's amazing.
That comment about the union killing the league hits on something critical. The WNBA has never turned a profit in 28 years of existence. Not once. The NBA has subsidized this league for nearly 3 decades. And now that there's finally momentum, with Caitlin Clark driving record ratings and attendance in 2024, the players are threatening to blow it all up over revenue-sharing demands that don't align with financial reality. The union wants a percentage of gross revenue, not net revenue after expenses are paid. Gross revenue, that means they want their cut before the league pays for arenas, travel, marketing, staff salaries, or any other operational costs. No professional sports league operates that way because it's financially unsustainable. The NBA players get 50% of basketball-related income, but that's calculated after the league covers its expenses and the NBA generates $4 billion in annual profit to split.
They're literally comparing playing basketball to manual labor as if that's the same thing. Sorry, bees. I didn't know it was this hard to hoop. Do us real hoops fans a favor and cancel the whole effing league. You bees make well enough money to survive. I mean, that's boy, I gotta tell you, people are, yeah. So, let me take these off. Anyway, just when you thought the players couldn't lose more people, congratulations, you've done it. You're losing more people in your fight.
The timing issue cannot be overstated. The WNBA just signed new media rights deals with ESPN, Amazon Prime, and NBC worth $2.2 billion over 11 years starting in 2026. That's $200 million per year, up from the current $50 million annual deal. It's a massive increase, and yes, it creates opportunity for higher player salaries. But here's the problem, that money hasn't started flowing yet. The owners are making decisions based on projections, not actual cash in hand. They've propped up this league through 28 years of losses, and now the players are demanding they commit to revenue sharing before the owners have seen a single dollar of profit from the new deals. This is why the 2 years too soon criticism makes so much sense. If the players had waited until 2026, when the new media money actually started coming in, when the owners could look at real financial statements showing actual profit for the first time in league history, the negotiating position would be completely different. The owners could say, okay, we're finally making money, here's what we can afford to share. Instead, the players opted out of the current CBA early, forcing negotiations when the league still hasn't demonstrated it can be profitable.
And I will go back to my original statement I made when the news started breaking that they were going to pursue more money and break off from the CBA. I said, you're doing this 2 years too soon. All right, you need to wait till the new media rights deal actually starts. You need to wait till that media rights money starts getting into owners' pockets, and then they can set back.
And here's where the players' union's approach becomes genuinely self-destructive. They're not just negotiating poorly, they're actively alienating the fan base that showed up because of Caitlin Clark. The original WNBA fan base, the small but loyal group that supported the league through decades of empty arenas, they respond to social justice messaging and activism. That's part of what drew them to women's basketball in the first place. But the new fans who came in 2024, they're sports fans first. They came to watch elite basketball. They came because Clark is appointment viewing. They don't want political statements mixed with their sports entertainment, and they definitely don't want to hear players complaining about money when the league has never been profitable. One comment captures this perfectly. This is less about business for these people than it is a social statement at this point, which has always been the downfall of this league. It's always why the ratings have been trash, and people didn't show up, because people are like, I just want sports. I don't want political narratives. None of that.
Experienced that profit yet after propping up your league for 29 years or whatever it is. And because they don't know what that's going to look like, all they can do is work off projections. Because they don't know what that's going to look like, they're not willing to give you the farm. And I don't blame them. After this many years, it sounds to me like the owners have drawn the line of, we're either going to make money or this league's going to shut down. One of the two.
The revenue-sharing demand reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of how professional sports leagues build financial stability. The players want 30% of gross revenue, which sounds reasonable until you understand what gross revenue means. Let's say the WNBA generates $300 million in revenue next year. 30% of that is $90 million going directly to players before the league pays for anything else. Now subtract arena costs, travel, medical staff, coaches, front office personnel, marketing, broadcast production, officials, insurance, and every other operational expense. What's left? Probably nothing, possibly losses. And the owners are supposed to agree to that structure when they've already absorbed 28 years of losses. The NBA comparison makes this even clearer. NBA players get 50% of basketball-related income, but the NBA generated $10.5 billion in revenue last season and roughly $4 billion in profit. Half of $4 billion is $2 billion for the players. The league keeps $2 billion to cover expenses and provide return on investment for the owners. That's a sustainable model because the revenue is massive and the profit is real. The WNBA is asking for a similar structure when they've never generated profit and their revenue is 40 times smaller.
Salary standpoint. Now, would they have gotten a 30% revenue share or some bullshit like off of gross revenue? And that's their problem. They want gross. No, they're not getting that in three. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking. I really don't. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the.
Here's what makes this situation particularly frustrating for people watching these negotiations unfold. The owners actually put a strong offer on the table. Significant salary increases, better working conditions, enhanced benefits, improved travel accommodations. They addressed the legitimate complaints about how players were being treated. The average salary would jump substantially. The maximum salary would increase even more. These are real, meaningful improvements that would make WNBA players among the highest-paid women's professional athletes in the world. But the Players' Union can't get past the revenue-sharing demand. They've made it a line in the sand, a symbolic issue about respect and equity rather than a business negotiation about what's financially viable. And that's why the public reaction has turned so negative. Fans understand the league doesn't make money. They understand the NBA has subsidized the WNBA for decades. They understand the new media deals create opportunity but haven't generated profit yet. So when the Players' Union releases statements about pay equity and regressive provisions and deploys inflatable rats, it doesn't read as workers fighting for fair treatment. It reads as people who don't understand basic business economics making demands that could kill the league's momentum. The comment that says you're doing this 2 years too soon is exactly right. Wait until the new media money starts flowing. Wait until the league posts its first profitable year. Wait until the owners can look at actual financial data instead of projections. Then come to the table and say, we helped build this. We want our fair share of the profit. That's a winning argument, but demanding revenue sharing before there's revenue to share. That's how you lose public support and potentially tank the league's best opportunity for growth in its entire history. What's your take? Are the players justified in pushing this hard right now, or should they have waited until the new media deals actually started paying out? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more coverage of how this CBA situation develops, make sure you're subscribed because this story is far from over.